The breakdown. Okay, this is going to be lengthy, but I have to get it off my chest. My fiancé and I are to be wed in October. We have been together for just over a year. We met through Craigslist when I was relocated last year. She was everything I thought I wanted. She had exaggerated about her personality, but she was so unbelievably gorgeous I overlooked the small indiscrepancies. We relocated together right after I proposed to her, 6 months after we met. Things have been great. She frequently had bouts of depression, but our relationship is still new, so I don't pretend to know everything about her. She had constantly been getting messages on Facebook from her ex of 2 years. Well, I was walking by the desktop computer and saw a message from him saying I need it and there were pictures attached. Interested, I attempted to open but couldn't. So, I sent a message back as her telling him to resend. I deleted all messages and patiently waited to see what this tool was talking about. Well, I got impatient, so I installed a keylogger to track her password. I merely wanted to intercept his response. She eventually confessed a few days later about the message and insisted she hadn't responded. She only waited because she did not want to ruin our weekend. Because I trust her, I let it go. Well, about a week later I walked into the office on her and she was typing an email. It started with her age and location, but she quickly minimized it. I told her I only wanted a kiss and she said she was doing something private. I walked away. She came to me and said she was emailing her mother. I knew then something was wrong. Remembering I had installed the keylogger, I logged into her email the next day only to read a very vulgar conversation she was having with a woman she had met on Craigslist. She had always told me she had been into women but that it was over. The email clearly indicated that she could not live without a woman's touch anymore. So, for the last few days I have been monitoring her messages. She has since changed her password, but I can still see every word she types on the desktop. She has been using our laptop, which has no logger. We just picked up our invitations for our wedding Sunday, and that very day she is emailing a woman. She has already told me she plans on getting her nails done on Friday when I am at work. I am not as upset as I thought I would be, but I know I can't pretend I know nothing forever. I have cheated on nearly every woman I dated. This was the first time I was faithful, so maybe it's not fair for me to just walk away. We had discussed possibly a threesome, even though I want a committed relationship just weeks ago, to address her urge, but behind my back, this is just insane. Maybe this is karma. I never cheated in our relationship. My choosing to tell her about my past was growth. My past has nothing to do with the relationship between my fiancé and I. 100% faithful for the year she has known me. I am a victim in this case. I was being honest. Truthfully, the exes that I cheated on, I didn't really cheat, I just broke up with them, but they would say that they were cheated on. Maybe the title threw you all off. I was simply requesting assistance on how I should go about something like this. My goodness, I found a fault and tried to change. My comment, the fact that she is hiding information that you have a right to know, means that she doesn't trust you. If she has to resort to secrecy, then you should seriously consider ending the engagement until she commits to become an open book. The same thing applies to you, but whatever otherwise, you are facing a future with a woman who has as much respect for committed relationships like you had in the past. OP responds, I have taken responsibility for my past. However, I am trying to focus on my situation today. I don't spy on my wife. She lied to me about who she was emailing after I clearly saw the beginning of the email she claimed was to her mother. I felt bad about sending a message to her ex and simply wanted to intercept the reply. I had every intention of telling her. We have always had a trusting relationship. I never questioned her doing anything. And when her ex has emailed her in the past, I let her handle it. I was beginning to find it a bit irritating and disrespectful since he knows we are engaged. I discovered the email literally 5 minutes after one of her coworkers sent her a picture of himself without a shirt on. It was not a good day, to say the least. She had always downplayed it, but I read those graphic messages about how she needs it and that I thought this side of her was dead. It just sucks. I know I can't go on with it, but bringing it up is going to be a nightmare. I was thinking I could just hand her everything and let that be it, but does this truly require a conversation? She desires women as much, if not more, than me. I guess from what I've been given, wrong is wrong and my course should be to confront her. I still don't know how. It's one thing to talk about unnecessary purchases, but to hand someone a stack of explicit conversation and ask them to explain themselves. I just don't know if I can face her and have her lie or deny. I think I would rather just leave it for her with a note, it's going to suck. She downplayed it a lot. It never occurred to me that she needed a woman. I would have never willingly entered into a relationship like that. Sure, I thought maybe on our 10-year anniversary it might not be hard to get a three-way, but I figured I was a non-issue. Definitely not that it was uncontrollable. If I posted what she wrote, it would be clear this is more like a drug to her. I would not say those people would all call me cheaters, but I am being honest with myself. I feel I may have cheated them out of a happiness, not necessarily committing infidelity. Either way, my past is mine alone. I believe I have made great strides and continue to withstand temptation daily, and it's only gotten easier. Believe it or not, people change when they want to. I would never want anything other than a 100% committed marriage. That's why I evaluated myself and just focused on being a better man for my future wife and children. Relationships are hard enough, but her emotional issues are clearly just the tip of the iceberg. There have always been signs, but no one is perfect. I wanted to work through them, learn, and make us a better couple. But this just seems to be a little too much. Had she come to me, I think I could have at least talked. Now I just feel betrayed. And when I talk to her now, I just read into everything looking for lies. I would not want to put someone through that either. My past is just that the only reason I deflected from it was that no one was offering any assistance with my current situation. Having never gone through anything like this, I naturally wanted honest opinions on how to go forward. My belief that this was a Christian forum was not getting any special treatment, but get that perspective. I believe in forgiveness, but I also believe in right or wrong. If your marriage has failed or experienced what I am going through, I'm sorry, but with that common ground, I was hoping to get some sound advice. Not a critique of my past that really has nothing to do with where I am today. I am ready for marriage because I am willing to find fault in myself and put in the work to correct it. I suppose the confrontation is imminent at this point. I know people said there is no reason to delay it, but today just doesn't work for me. I'm thinking Saturday morning or tomorrow after work. I'm sure she will flip, and I want to be there in case she goes nuts breaking stuff. I have no problem with confrontation, just this one. A confrontation that is followed by me leaving her in the house with my valuables, which are pretty much all I'm going to have after this weekend, is not a good combination. She broke my smaller flat screen last time she got mad. Who does that? After she is exposed, I will come home and everything will be destroyed. I'm thinking I will pack up a lot of my stuff for safety first. Why did she break my TV? Really don't remember, it was just a basic argument, but she was really pissed, started throwing stuff. I was terrified, never seen her that mad. She threw something at it and it shattered the screen. She also knocked eggs out of my hand and took out a picture frame. She's just been getting increasingly short-tempered. Well, I never claimed to be perfect, so I wanted to accept her flaws and all. I think it's a blessing to have someone even willing to love you, so I wasn't going to judge when I myself have lots to work on. My comment: accept the reality of your situation. You will lose her the way you found her, on the internet. She's cheating on a cheater. You both deserve each other. You are both doomed. Why? Because in order to have a happy long-term marriage, you both need to be happy in yourself before you can be happy as a couple. She's not happy. She's looking for more than you can provide. On the net, you're not happy because she's cheating. So, there you have your reality. Accept it or change it. Stop the wedding and sort yourselves out by making yourselves happy. Story 2. I got divorced a few months ago after 10 years of marriage. We started out dating when I just got out of high school and she was still in high school. Marriage from a young age really took its toll on us, and we got a divorce that we both had a hand in causing. The minute we separated, I realized just how much she meant to me though, and I've spent every minute since then trying to win her back. She tells me that my desperation has pushed her away more than helped. I asked her 2 days ago on the phone if I'll ever get a second chance to make it right, and she told me she doesn't know. She said she is not wanting to work on it right now, but she isn't sure she won't in a few months or years. She is in a relationship at the moment, but she said she would never marry the guy and that she doesn't see it being long-term. She said that he makes her feel wanted though, which is something that I didn't do, and she likes having him around. She said being with me right now would be permanent, and she doesn't want permanent at the moment. Basically, she says it's how I make her feel that turns her against me. Every time we talk, it's me questioning her about him, about me, about the future, and it annoys her. She said she views me as pure frustration now, and that probably has a lot to do with how irritated she is when she talks to me. She said she fears if we got back together things would go back to arguing and stuff. I need to show her feelings matter and stop acting so obsessive basically. The problem is, since we met, I've only been her boyfriend or husband. I don't know how to talk to her without it being about that kind of stuff. I have to basically build a new relationship with her and win her back that way, and I don't know where to start. I need some help on how to handle this. I'm not asking anyone to speak for me, but basically point me in a good direction to start. Some people are telling me to act like I don't care and walk away, but won't that make me look selfish? I couldn't get her to do what I wanted her to do, so I gave up on her. The problems in our marriage started when I stopped taking care of myself. I was muscular, lean, and attractive when we got married, and difficult work schedules caused me to gain about 100 pounds or so, stop working out, stop tanning, and basically let myself go downhill. I think she first lost physical attraction to me, and then she lost emotional attraction to me when I started letting my lack of self-esteem change me. This leads me to go back to the beginning on where it all went wrong and fix my appearance, therefore, fixing my confidence and transforming me from an insecure person to the confident, solid man I used to be. I've dropped 40 pounds so far and have about 40 to 50 to go. I have been eating right, taking better care of myself and stuff, but these types of changes can take a long time. What do I do in the meantime? Disappear, keep conversations short and about the kids only. She bought a new car recently and had to have me put her tags on for her because she didn't want to ask him. I'm actually pretty handy around the house, so no, it wasn't that. I have a really good job also, so it's nothing financial. The guy she's with now has a low income, and I think that's why she's saying she wouldn't marry him. I think their relationship is all physical to her. The fighting varied from different things. A lot of it was because her family hated me from the minute she moved in with me because it made her less dependent on them, and they were always starting some form of drama, and admittedly, instead of ignoring it, I often let it get to me. Some of the arguing was that she didn't really do much around the house and she only worked part-time, so I always begged her to help me clean and stuff. I did wash dishes, a lot actually. I also worked long hours. My weight gain caused me to get severe sleep problem, so the first out was making me leave the bedroom. I know some people don't understand that, but believe it was pretty terrible. It got to the point where I was sleeping on my knees bent over the couch. I couldn't stay awake during a movie or drive long distances without falling asleep. These things would make her really annoyed. She did tell me that I needed to lose weight, and I did try at some points, but depression and aggravation made me eat and drink a lot of soda since I didn't smoke or drink alcohol. I used it as a way to deal with stress, I guess. I wouldn't have time to speak with a counselor. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning for work and get home around 7 in the evenings. I do my workouts in the evenings and then I'm in the bed. I do realize that discussing these things with her pushes her away, but I'm afraid that she's going to end up marrying him and he's going to get the version of her that I always begged for her to give me. She promised our son, who despises him, that she wouldn't marry him or be with him long term. But she said no one was going to force her to break up with him until she's ready to do it on her own, not even our kids. I'm not sure why you continue being in a relationship in your 30s that you saw going nowhere and further exposing your kids to someone that you knew would soon be on their way out the door. She said she doesn't want to work things out right now, and part of that is because the issues that caused the divorce have all not been fixed yet. She also told me a future between her and I is 50-50. She said she has not eliminated getting back with me from her thought process. She said she likes having the other guy around basically because he's a pushover. That's literally what she told me the last time we slept together. There is the last year or so I couldn't get into it. I got into weird fetishes that she didn't like and it was hard for me to stay into it. I think that's a lot of what she likes about this guy. It's new with him and he has no trouble staying motivated. A lot of why I couldn't get into it also is because I felt like I was unworthy of her. She's a very attractive girl. She looks like a Barbie doll, blonde hair, blue eyes, real tan, nice body. I started out a dark-skinned, dark-haired, green-eyed, muscular tan guy that she was very into it, and then I let myself get 100 pounds overweight. Pale, quit fixing my hair the way she liked, grew out an uneven terrible-looking beard, etc. I wasn't into me, so I couldn't get her into me. Part of me feels like she knows I'm better for her than him. I'm more financially stable, handier around the house, more mature, I'm the kid's father, she's more comfortable around me, etc. So if I could be that man again, she will start to come around. She's already told me she often finds herself second-guessing him. When things were good before, she was amazing. She has the same religious and political views that I do, same music taste, loves the same areas and vehicles, loves horror movies. She can be funny at times. We went through terrible struggles together. She makes me a stronger person. She loves working out and tanning, and that's something that I actually got her into. I'm also a certified trainer, which is what I did when her and I first got together, but I turned to another field to make more money and lost myself. She said she didn't feel like she mattered. She said she felt like I put all emphasis on spoiling her financially, but ignored her feelings. The issue is most of what she complained about was money, so naturally I just decided to work more. She said sleep apnea and weight gain was making me unattractive and how I stopped taking care of myself. She said there was tension between us and we argued too much. I can see where things went wrong and I know they can be fixed, but she said how she feels around me would have to change first. I guess now is the part where I tell a little more details. She cheated on me with this guy right before the divorce and was letting him stay at my house for days at a time while we were separated. She even forced the kids to lie to me about it. She swore to me she had ended it right before the divorce, and then a week or two after she comes out on Facebook dating him and posting pictures of him with my kids. My kids don't like him either. Just asked her this morning again if she's sure she's going to break things off, and she said it probably won't be soon. I don't know exactly when, but I'm certain I won't marry him or be with him for years or anything. Kind of makes me think that's all a physical thing. I'm not sure where to start. I mean, obviously you start by losing weight, eating healthier, maintaining good hygiene, wear proper fitting clothes, maintain good financial capability. What I want to know though is, where do I start as far as communication? Do I stop talking to her unless she contacts me first? If she does contact me, do I make it short and get off the phone or not reply? She doesn't want to get back with the person I am now. She wants to keep me on a string because time and time again she has seen me bounce back from things she didn't think I would be able to bounce back from. She's afraid I may actually make the changes she doesn't think I can make. I don't know anything for certain. She admitted to went to his apartment and hung out with him a few times while I was at work, but she claims nothing happened physically until after she told me she wanted a divorce and I moved out of the house. Now, we had not filed for the divorce yet as she told me at first. She needed time to think on it. But while she was thinking on it, I know he was coming to the house and staying over. Someone suggested no contact. I have tried this and it always ends with her making a fake number to call me from or emailing me from some new email asking me to talk to her. She tells me her bad feelings calm down when I'm away and she starts to miss me. I know you guys say she will never want me back, and that may be the case, but I have been very good to her, especially since we separated. I've made sacrifices that I know this guy will never make for her. There's no way in the world she won't miss that once it's gone. I think the problem here lies solely in the fact that she has not yet found out what it's really like to lose me just yet. I do know this girl extremely well. Hell, I predicted everything she was doing from day one and everyone told me I was crazy. She does care, but she's blinded by her shiny new toy. She is in a completely physical relationship but knows all things will be on her back as long as she's with him. For example, he is living with her, but he pays 0 bills. She was begging me to buy her a dining room table the other day. I told her to ask him and she said it wasn't his place. Perhaps I just really need to cut her off completely and only talk to her about the kids. I changed my phone number last night. I haven't given it to her and probably won't. I'll just talk to her on Snapchat. That's where she wants to talk to me at 99% of the time anyway. My biggest thing is I lost confidence. When her and I got married, I didn't make very much money. I mean, I was a 20 back then. Her family used that to tell her that I wasn't worthy of her and that her dad could hook her up with a guy he works with that would be able to take really good care of her. This made me work crazy hours to show them I could support her, and I stopped working out, stopped tanning, stopped doing stuff that kept up my appearance. I've always been a guy that found myself in the gym. Once the gym was taken from me, I kind of became a shell of my old self. I went from being confident and dominant to being insecure and a beta. I think she noticed this as well. Her and I were on and off for 2 years before getting married. She would do stuff like this. We'd break up and she would get with another guy. I'd never chase her and she'd come crawling back at some point. When she'd come back, I'd never ask questions and we'd brush it under the rug. This time I chased her because I wasn't as confident. I never chased women during our breakups before. I'd always just hit the gym harder. She's always needed a companion to be happy. She wouldn't leave me until she found him. She let another guy for me in 2008, and guess what? She needed to know I was all in before she pulled the trigger. I do believe if I fixed myself, she'd want to come back, and that's why she's clinging to I don't know how I'll feel in the future. That way she could say I told you I wasn't done with you. I just felt like we needed a break, and look what it done for you. You're so much better now. But I also do believe that will only happen if I truly let go, and when I truly let go, I'll never want her back. So ultimately, I do believe letting go is what needs to be done. Back then we were just teenagers. She'd date them on social sites or go to the movies or something. She lived with her grandparents back then. She never ran off and slept with them. She did sleep with one guy while we were breaking up one time, but I didn't find out about it until after we got married. She did leave him for me though ultimately, and it was while we were not together, so I let it go. I do have a lot of friends and they all tell me the exact same thing you guys are. They also tell me that once I do move on, she will try to come back, and they believe that I will end up taking her back. I honestly believe if I ever get through this, I'd never in a million years want to come back to it. This girl doesn't know what polite means. She's told me over and over she isn't done. She just says we need more time to go by before we even attempt anything, and that she doesn't want to be alone until then. She is also the one that has suggested getting back together is a possibility. I just started asking her about it once she brought it up. She called me yesterday and I asked her about it. My exact words were, if you're done with me then I need to just move on and accept it. So just tell me if there's no chance, and her words were, it's not something that I've completely eliminated. I'm open to it. I said, what about him? Is there a future with him? Her words were, I'm positive there's no future with him. He's here for now and that's it. Those aren't the parts that confuses me. What confuses me is how she changes her mind a lot. She's always been that way. We were still married when she started messing with him, and we hadn't even discussed divorce really when she started going to his apartment. So yeah, I define that as cheating. I don't know for certain anything happened physically prior to us agreeing on a divorce. I'm aware I can't convince her of anything. I'm just saying she's not convinced she won't either. I just wanted to know what the first steps to take were to move in the right direction, even though I probably already know the answer. Walk away for now and fix myself. What scares me is, after I fix myself, will I still want her? She said they watched movies and that's it. He told me she approached him first and told him she was a single mom, and she says he came to her even knowing she was married. Regardless, it makes them both look bad. She calls me over everything. If something is wrong, she comes to me to fix it. It's like she's either afraid to ask him or doesn't trust him. If she leaves her lunch at home, he's at her house, she'll ask me instead. She just popped up on my Snap 5 minutes ago complaining about how much his check was. She was making fun of it. She said it's just a physical thing with him, but he acts like I'm a queen where I'm so out of his league, and I like that. He's like my servant. I said, he's a servant that lets you pay all the bills and takes care of him while he lives for free. The one girl that I really did like and was really into had a rough past. It was like she was making me pay for everything that her ex did. She was really beautiful like my wife, and she had a son that was not even a year old who I adored. My ex-wife messaged her referring to herself as my wife and asking her if we were involved. Yeah, that was a huge red flag, and she walked away because of it. 3 of the other girls didn't have any kids, and committing to a father of 3 was a little shaky to them. Then of course my ex messaged 2 of them as well. Sometimes a girl's personality can make her appear more attractive. When I first got divorced, a girl was trying every way to move in with me. She reminded me a little of my ex-wife, blonde hair, very attractive. The problem was she seemed way too desperate and didn't have her $ hit together. It almost felt like talking to her was more like a job interview, and she was explaining her skills to me in hopes that I would find her worthy. What I liked about the girl I was involved with after the divorce was she was very independent. She had her own house, her own vehicle, great mother, stable job. Her personality was amazing. She was beautiful, but that wasn't so much what did me in comparison to the other things. Facebook. When we first split, I deleted and blocked her, but she was sneaking on my son's Facebook and watching who and all liked my pictures and stuff. Me and this certain girl had hearted a few of each other's pics, and she just flat out asked me about it. I told her it was true, and she asked me to send her proof. I didn't send her anything, but I think she wanted proof so that when she was caught with him, she would be able to say I did it first. I have given up videos, honestly. I have started losing weight and getting back in shape. I was the one that filed for the divorce, by the way. It was her idea initially to go forward with it, and she even bugged me about it, but I was the one to file. It's not so much that I want to be the one to leave. It's that I have recognized all the things that went wrong, and I want to see if we did get back together. Would correcting those things matter, or would I say, no, this isn't worth it, and back out? Ex-wife, her issue with him. She doesn't like his kids. She makes fun of how he does his hair. She says he doesn't know how to take control in situations where she needs a man and not a boy. Has a whiny personality, and when he does have money, he spends it on things he shouldn't be concerned with. He has shown earlier signs of jealousy too. She said the other day he asked her why she has to talk to me on Snapchat and why can't it be through text. The kids told me she instructed them not to tell him I bought the dog they have because he wouldn't like it then. He's a car salesman, and she said without her permission he pulled her recent car loan and started questioning her on why she settled for the vehicle she did and why she needed a co-signer. His sales were low, and he was trying to convince her to let him sell her a car. She said she felt it was an invasion of privacy. Mind you, this is barely a month into the official relationship. She enjoys being in control in the relationship with him, where when her and I were together she depended solely upon me for everything. It's easy for her to enjoy that when I've been there, making life easier for her behind the scenes in hopes of proving that I am worthy of another chance. She never said he sucked in the sack or anything. She has told me a lot that she likes it, and even sometimes it was amazing. She just told me that I was better before all the troubles. She works in a hospital, and I always assumed she was going to end up with a surgeon or something from over there, but she ended up with a guy that was unemployed and living in a broken-down apartment. What she saw in him to begin with was a younger version of me. The guy has my skin complexion, hair color, eye color, even facial hair. What is different is I had gained weight and he is slim. I assumed she cheated back in 2018, but when I asked the guy I assumed she cheated with, he told me they had talked and she told him her and I were breaking up, but nothing happened. Part of me believes his wife was around at the time, and that's why he didn't want to admit having taken part in an affair. According to her, she asked him about it and he denied claims they even talked. The same guy did ask her to hang out with him right after I confronted him. Maybe he thought had he kept the secret he would get something out of it. She keeps contact with me away from him. He sees on her phone when she snaps me, but he doesn't know how much she does it. She was sending me nudes 2 weeks prior to their relationship, and he's aware of that. He also has to know she chooses to talk to me on Snap because she's less likely to leave evidence of what she says on there. I have to move on or else nothing will change. I won't eliminate a potential reunion in the future, but only if a lot of changes, starting with me. Who knows? I could get ripped up and find myself in a better area with more women and find someone I'm way more into than her. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't have Facebook anymore. I deleted it a while back. I don't even have Instagram now. I just use Snap. The girl I was involved with is now in a relationship, and I tried a few times to talk to her post-breakup, and she wanted to hear nothing I had to say. She told me it was too early for me to try to get involved and that I needed to work on myself for the time being because no one could heal me but me. She said she wasn't ready or willing to get involved in a situation like the one I was in. I don't blame her. Maybe if her and the guy she's with doesn't work out, we will cross paths again someday. I doubt it. She will try to come back. I know her too well. She will just wait until I have it all together again. I think she will want to get remarried, but she will want to wait a few years first. As good as I know her, and I can be wrong, this is how I would see it playing out. 1. She will never want to work things out with this version of me, ever. 2. If I changed the things I needed to change, got back in shape, learned to be happy again, etc., she will try to come back. 3. If I take her back instantly, this will repeat itself. 4. If I turned her down and made myself appear uninterested, she would probably shape up and change. 5. If I do wait around on her to figure out what she wants, it would sail a good chick flick, but that won't work in real life. I would mount myself to being a permanent doormat. 6. Repeat 1 to 3. She doesn't have any girlfriends. She has toxic family members that put stuff in her head, like 2 cousins that were divorced and 6 feet into baby daddy drama by their mid-20s, and a sister that I could write 6 pages on how terrible she is. She has no real friends. She has work people she talks to and deadbeat family members. And me, of course, she trashes, tells me to him. At least I'm aware that it's going both ways and not in a delusional fantasy that I found Cinderella like he is. Half a year later, some time ago, a girl I dated and I broke up, and my ex-wife, I made a post about her before. Y'all probably remember she was causing me some trouble. Sent her a message asking about our relationship. Well, the ex-girlfriend at the time added her that day and has been Facebook friends with her ever since. The girlfriend and I got back together in Feb, and the two talked about meeting since her and I were getting serious and meeting my kids as well. They ended up having an argument over me, and the girlfriend made me block her on everything and was tired of my ex-wife making threats and manipulation to try to get me to do things for her, so she told her from now on everything that my ex-wife needs to say to me she can say to her, and she will relay the message. The two can't stand each other and argued briefly. Well, the ex-girlfriend and I broke up a few months ago, and she blocked me and deleted my friends but has kept my ex-wife on her Facebook. The two never like anything of each other's, and my ex-wife is constantly making fun of her. My ex-wife keeps her as a friend because she thinks me and the ex-girlfriend will get back together again, but why does the ex-girlfriend want my ex-wife on there? They don't know or like each other. It doesn't make sense. She claims she added her because she was going to be in her life over the kids but blocked me and still has her. I want to make things right with the ex-girlfriend. The ex-wife, on the other hand, can go take a hike somewhere in another country. They don't like each other and would never talk. I guess I can understand why the ex-wife keeps my ex-girlfriend on there, considering we've dated a few times already and always seem to get back together. But I'm not sure why the ex-girlfriend still has my ex-wife, considering she says she's done with me this time. My backstory is this: I got with my ex-wife when we were young. She cheated on me and we got divorced. It hurt like hell, and yeah, I was in super denial about it because I wanted things to be back to the way they were. I didn't want to be in my mid-32nd starting over as a father of 3. I was very much hurt and didn't want to burden my friends and family with my problems, so I got on a random website here and asked for advice and help, and just like right here, I was viciously attacked for not being a tin man when it came to my feelings. I already stated why my ex-wife doesn't unfriend my ex-girlfriend. She thinks her and I will get back together again, so she kept her as a Facebook friend. They also have secret competitions with each other over who can get more Facebook attention. Why do I care if my ex-girlfriend is still friends? Maybe because I miss her and want to work it out. Maybe it's because I'm holding on to any form of hope that she's hanging on to some things too, because underneath the anger she clearly has for me, that she still cares. I blocked my ex-wife on Facebook when we got divorced because it was too painful to see her new life without me. I blocked her because I wanted to convince myself she didn't exist anymore, because I did still care. I'm hoping that my ex-girlfriend blocking me, again, is a sign that she still cares too and is maybe just hurting also. Hell, she's done it in the past and came back. I tried to get my ex-girlfriend to delete her when we were together, and she basically told me if my baby daddy had a girlfriend and she was going to be in my kids' lives, I would want to have her on my Facebook, so I'm going to give her that same respect. What's funny is, we ain't together and they're still friends. I can't talk to my ex-girlfriend directly. She has me blocked on Facebook since we broke up, and some stuff happened right after. It's not the first time she's blocked me and then unblocked me and wanted to work things out a few months later. It's happened more than once. It's just how she deals with things when she's hurt. I could always add her on Snap or use my old Facebook to message her if I wanted to, but I haven't, out of respect that she obviously doesn't want to talk right now. The problem is the thing she's mad at me over. She hasn't heard my side of the story, and if she did, she wouldn't be mad. But I guess I'll wait until she's ready to hear it. As far as telling her to delete my ex-wife, I tried. She has this big thing where she doesn't want to feel like she's being controlled. She just told me basically she does it for my ex-wife out of respect for being the kid's mother. That's another thing about why I don't get why she keeps her on there if she wants to be permanently done. I don't know what to think anymore. Part of the reason the ex-wife won't unfriend is because she expects us to get back together, and the other part is because she kind of has that hate, envy thing of her, if you know what I mean. My comment: the problem isn't the exes, it's the OP. If you want the problem to go away, OP, simply quit caring about it. Let them do whatever immature thing they're going to do and don't give a crap. This is about the literal definition of living rent-free in someone's head.